What is up, Scrub fam? I am back with the deck profile. Not really back, but back again because I did a video before and then had to take it down because I made an error. But you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you don't know what I'm talking about, but if you do, it's fine. Everyone makes mistakes. But anyway, I'm here to do a deck profile off of a video that I did originally, a deck that I did originally, but I actually play tested it more after making the error and then went ahead and made a few changes to the deck that I really liked, and so I want to go ahead and share this updated version with you guys. Before I get into that, shout out to Beard Collectibles. Alec Pastrana is the best shop owner on the planet at Beard Collectibles. If you are looking to get your sealed product, your singles, anything for Tournament Power and Set 4, go through Alec. He's going to hook you up with the best deals possible, and of course he gives the best customer service on the planet. So glad to have an amazing sponsor in Alec, best shop owner. But anyway, enough about Beard Collectibles, even though they're the best. Let's go ahead and talk about, they are the best. Team Wars, yeah, right? So let's go ahead and jump into this red-yellow SS3 deck. So the reason why I chose red was because I feel like red got a ton of powerful cards this set with the Universe 6 cards, and I really wanted to exploit that by playing a leader that generated additional energy, because that is one of our pillars in this format, is doing things that are incredibly powerful as early as possible, because you're now high impact turns, or turns 3, 4, and 5, so I want to play SS3 Goku, because as the game speeds up, you need that extra energy. So if I'm not able to play Shigesh, I need to play a leader that generates extra energy. If I'm not able to do Overwhelm, I need to play a leader that generates extra energy, and Son Goku does that. So this is the deck. So let me go ahead and jump into the red cards for you guys. 4 Saiyan Kaba to help us awaken. 4 Kaba Universe Mediator to help cycle through our deck. Again, this is a Universe 6 deck, and that's why we're using this card. 4 Sister Attack Saiyan Kale. This card is great. It's a cheaper ability Unleashed Ultimate Gohan. Costs 2, only 1 red required, and then basically once you have a Kaba in play, which you will then swing with this and draw a card. This helps produce a lot of pressure, especially when you play these in multiples and you have your leader already awakened, because you're drawing a card with each swing and your opponent's having to combo to not take damage. So this card has great value for you. We play a small Frost package, 2 Frost Tactician, 2 Frost Ultimate, 2 Ultimate Evolution Frost, because the Tactician can go ahead and tutor this. So it's awesome to have the evolve effect, but if you don't evolve, just having the triple striker is just pretty great, especially because it's also 5 energy and it's just 2 red. So we have these in the deck mostly because they're Universe 6 and they just have the upside. And they're both also 5k combos, which is pretty sweet. We have 3 Relentless Super Saiyan Kale. This card is gas. Once you evolve into this card, it's just complete board wipe, whether if it affects you and your opponent, or just whatever, just affects both players and just wipes the board entirely. So now you have your Kale, you have your leader, and then now you have your opponent. So your opponent's already a battle card behind, and then you just get to respond to them whenever they play on their turn. And usually you can kind of exhaust your opponent out of resources at this point. That's one thing I really like about this deck, is this deck, it's almost like aggro control, because since you have so many aggressive cards, you can be aggressive towards your opponent, but then you also have ways to control the game and really just stall your opponent out, especially if they don't have a way of self-awakening, and you can just take over the game without them allowing to relieve and do anything meaningful or impactful. So then we have 3 Pride and Justice Topo. This helps us keep on theme with reducing the amount of extra cards that we run in the deck. Really, our extra cards are quite minimal, and so we get to play negates in this deck that don't require us to make them extra cards. So Topo is one of those cards. It's great with SS3 because you can leave up 3 energy at the end of every turn, and it's a reduced cost threat, so you can play this on the board, go back into your turn, and then be able to play something else that's impactful, so now you have multiple attackers on your table, so you'll be able to pressure the opponent that way. 4 Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. Pretty sure that this is now a staple in a large percentage of the decks that are out there. Just having the free super combo to draw, I mean not free, but 1 energy super combo is pretty great. So you combine that with your boost attack payloads, and now you have 8 super combos in the deck. And then 4 Foreseeing Hit. Foreseeing Hit is arguably the best SR in the set. This card does absolutely disgusting things to your opponent and really helps implement the control aspect of this deck. And did I mention that it's a 0+5k combo? No, I didn't. Well, it is. So this card does it all. Looks at your opponent's hand, strips 2 battle cards that cost 35,000k or less, sends them to the warp. At the end of your opponent's next turn, return all the cards sent to the warp with the skill back to their hand. So this waits an entire turn before your opponent actually gets these cards back. So whether you want to strip super combos, or whether it's early enough in the game you want to disrupt their next plays, Foreseeing Hit can either be a time lock and set your opponent behind, or it can be a card that enables you to be able to go for game. So Foreseeing Hit, absolutely disgusting. Need to play 4. If you don't play 4, you're bad, as Anthony Hernandez would say. Next, we go on to the yellow cards. 4 Planet Vegeta. We play this because this tutors a lot of the cards in the deck. It's a really good yellow source, good card to discard a battering laser, and really we don't need that much yellow energy in this deck to run, so I just like to have this, and then it's another 1-drop that draws a card. So it replaces itself, good value. Can also search out your super combo Goku. So we're in a good spot here. 4 no openings, again, just helps us to awaken early, allows us to generate pressure on the opponent by being able to do a pretty hefty combo early in the game, and just in general, it's a yellow card. You can discard it to battering laser, or you can charge it once you don't need them anymore, and it's tutorable by Planet Vegeta, so you can get that turn 1 awaken if you have the optimal hit on your energy when it comes to at the beginning of the game with your Goku ability. And then we four Master Roshi Forge the Will. So again, this is in line with the fact that we don't want to play extra cards in the deck. We want to have as much combo power as possible, and Roshi gives us that. So we have Topo and we have Roshi that can both be played on your opponent's turn. They both are negates, so they both provide a ton of value across the course of the game. And then, of course, the reason why this card is so great, as well as Topo, is that you can play this as the negate, and then you still have a 5k combo piece to be able to go against your opponent's next attack. So, card's incredibly strong, very good value. And then, of course, you can run your Flying Nimbuses in the sideboard if you need to. So, it's not like Flying Nimbus is unplayable, but I just really like having the extra combo power in the deck. And then 2 Battering Laser. This is really just for negates, or they're for Bloodlust. So if you Foreseeing hit, you see your opponent has a negate, and you strip their super combos, you can then Battering Laser in the negate when you swing, and then you can go ahead and combo out for game, and then have no issues. Or just you can play this on turn 4 after you play your Foreseeing hit, they Bloodlust it, and you just Battering Laser it to force it through, and now your opponent's lost to Bloodlust, and they're going to end up losing the 2 battle cards. So pretty strong. And then 2 Trunks Power Overseeing Time. This was Scientist Fu, and Scientist Fu performed really well in the deck, but I really wanted to play Trunks Power Overseeing Time because once you get to your turn 5 or the later turns of the game, you can play a Trunks Power Overseeing Time, go get back a Foreseeing hit, cast a Foreseeing hit, and then strip those cards from your opponent's hand again. So then now you have 2 double strikers on the table plus your leader, and again, it helps you go for game. So I really like the 2 comboing together. So this is also what I'm doing in a lot of my red-black Overrealm decks again, is just having Foreseeing hits and Trunks Power Overseeing Time and Dark Plots, which is kind of gross. So these 2 cards, I'm pretty certain you're going to start seeing a lot together, especially in SS3 decks. No reason not to do it. It just provides an incredibly powerful late game. So this is the deck that I've been playing so far. It's been highly successful. And with this deck on the play, its win percentage is outrageous. On the draw, it's still has a high win percentage, but the games are much closer than they would be if you're on the play. But otherwise, I think this deck is definitely a contender, definitely something you should continue to take a look at and play with as we move forward, and just enjoy this new format. I played some games today with Jiren, Universe 11. Vaughn is so handsome, and Tupper is the MVP. But honestly, Secret of Vitality Jiren is a disgusting card, especially if your opponent is playing something like Veggies and they like to swing out with multiples. You can then just be like, Secret Vitality Jiren, kill 2 dudes. Like, no problem. So that deck's been a lot of fun. Otherwise, the format's pretty fun. Format is very fast. Competitive play is going to be pretty interesting to see what decks pop up, because there's going to be a lot of spike decks out there. So I'm looking to see who's going to be more creative as we get to tournaments, because those are going to be the decks that are the most impressive. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any feedback for me, please feel free to reach out to me via Facebook directly, or you can comment on my videos and provide any sort of negative or positive feedback that you like. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the deck and get some reps in with it. See if you enjoy it. Other than that, hope you have a good Memorial Day weekend. Okay, bye!